Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mrs. Gallagher, and today we're going to discuss volumes of prisms. So, volume is the number of cubic units needed to fill a solid. So, basically, what volume is the measure inside of a solid. So, volume is the measure of space inside of a solid. To find the volume of a prism, and today we're going to talk about rectangular prisms and triangular prisms, you have to multiply the base area B by the height, which is h. So let's first discuss rectangular prisms and how to find the volume of a rectangular prism. The formula is volume equals B times h. So what does it represent? What does B and h represent? Well, B stands for the area of your base. So B stands for the area of the base. Since we're talking about rectangular prisms, our base, if we look below, is a rectangle. So what is the area of a rectangle? Area is length times width. So our area of the base of rectangular prisms is length times width. And the h stands for our height. So our h stands for our height. As a result, our formula to find the volume of a rectangular prism is volume equals length times your width times your height. That's how we come up with this formula. By taking the area of the base, which is a rectangle, and multiplying it by its height. So let's do some examples together. So let's look at example 1 and identify our solid, which is a rectangular prism. And our formula for a rectangular prism is volume equals length times width times height. Now what I like to always do is identify what my length, my width, and my height is in the solid. So first of all, our height is how tall. So 4 is our h. Our length is how long. So 7 is our L. And our width is how wide. So 5 is our W. Now we're going to replace our length and width and our height. So our length, we said, was 7. So replace the L with 7. Our width, we said, was 5. So replace 5 with our W. And our height, we said, was 4. We identified it as 4. So we have 7 times 5 times 4. And we have 7 times 5 is 35. 35 times 4 is 140. And whenever we have volume, we want to label it centimeters cubed. So whenever we have volume, you always want to label it the units cubed. So our final answer is our volume is equal to 140 centimeters cubed. And that is our final answer. Let's go to our next example. Let's first identify what our solid is in example 2. And if you notice, all sides are equal to 6. Therefore, this is a cube because all of the sides are equal to each other. So that is a cube because all sides are equal in the solid. So we are going to use the same formula as we would for a rectangular prism. So volume equals length times width times height. And now let's label our length, our width, and our height. And we're going to replace it. Volume equals, our length is 6, our width is 6, and our height is 6. So 6 times 6 is 36, times 6 is 216. And we're going to label that our unit is feet, and we're going to label it cubes. Therefore, our volume is equal to 216 feet cubed. And that is our final answer. So now let's discuss how to find the volume of a triangular prism. So for the formula of a triangular prism to find the volume, again, it's volume equals B times H. And again, your B stands for your area of your base. So you want to ask yourself, what is the base in a triangular prism? The base is a triangle. Our base is a triangle. So if our base is the triangle, we're going to use the formula for the area of the triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. So your area of the base of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Okay, and our H represents the height of the three-dimensional figure. So our H stands for our height. Therefore, to find the volume of our triangular prism, you are going to multiply the area of the base, which is the triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. That's the area of the base of the triangle. So you're going to multiply the area of the triangle by the height of the 3D figure of the entire solid. Okay, so we're going to multiply the area of your triangle, that's the base, by the height of the entire solid. So let's do some examples together. So let's look at example 1. We want to identify the solid. And to identify the solid, we look at its base, and the base is a triangle. Therefore, this is a triangular prism. So we're going to use the formula volume equals, so volume equals 1/2 base times height, which is the area of your base, and then you times it by the height of the entire 3D figure. So let's plug in what we know. We have volume equals 1/2 times, well, let's find our triangle. Our triangle is right here. And our base is 4, and our height is 6. We identified what our base and our height is in the triangle. So let's now replace our number, substitute it for our base of our triangle. So our B was 4, so 1/2 times 4, and our height was 6, so times 6. And now we're going to multiply the base of the solid by our height, and our height is our 8. So we're going to times that by 8. Our next step to find our volume is I like to multiply inside the parentheses first. So 1/2 times 4 is 2, and 2 times 6 is 12. And now we're going to multiply it by the height of the solid, which is 8. Therefore, our volume is equal to 12 times 8 equals 96, and we're going to label that meters cubed. So our volume is 96 meters cubed. Let's look at example 2. One more example together. So again, let's look at example 2. We're going to identify the solid. It's a base triangle, so it's a triangular prism. And we're going to use the formula volume equals the area of a triangle, which is our base, is 1/2 base times height. And then we're multiplying it by the height of the entire solid. So now let's identify the base in the triangular prism. And here is our base right here. So our base and our height of that triangle, our base is 5 and our height is 7. So let's plug that in, substitute in the equation. Volume equals 1/2. My base is 5 and my height is 7. And now we're going to multiply it by the height of the entire solid, which is 6. My next step I like to multiply to find my area of my triangle first. So we have 1/2 times 5 is 2.5. 2.5 times 7 is 17.5. So we have 17.5, and we're going to multiply that by the height of the entire solid. And we have 17.5 times 6 is going to give us 105 centimeters cubed. So our final answer is 105 centimeters cubed. Make sure you always label it cubed. So now what I would like you to do is the you try section. Please solve example 1 and 2, and we will discuss this in class. Thank you.